I want it. Gotta make to myself a promise. I won't quit, keep going till I got it. I won't give up till I'm on top.
Yo, no, I ain't the type to give up. If I do something, man, I do it till I get what I want. I turn a business out of nothing into something I love. I got a poker face, but honestly, I'm not one to bluff. I flip a switch, never miss, man, I always stay up. Don't let them see you, bitch, always have a plan to stay tough. This life ahead of you ain't easy, it was built to be rough. But that's what makes a personality is tragedy, bruh. So keep your head on your shoulders. Now we ain't out here moving rocks, we out here moving.
Yo. What is up? It's me, it's Key. We're back. We're in the building with another 7,200 seconds. Podcasting as always, I got my guy, Coach Donte is always in the building. Coach, what is going on, man?
What is good? What's the fucking deal? YouTube, Sports Empire Network, Key in the building. It's awesome. Happy that the goddamn Texans season over for sure about that one. And like I said, I told you it's still a travesty. You ain't got the World Series champions in the intro. It's still a travesty on that part, but I'm ready.
Every Tuesday that I'm in the backstage dancing, y'all don't see me, but it's the intro. I'm always used to that. But shout out to everyone in the chat. I got Gene in the chat. We got Jeremy. Shayna, she's always here in the love in the comments. I appreciate y'all. We got a jam-packed, eventful show today. But right off the bat, Coach, we gonna start off with the natty last night. Oh my God, you called that game. You had to sit through that.
Do we have to talk about this game? Actually, what more can you say on the TCU side?
I know you had to call this game, and I know you wanted to hit that mercy rule. But that is the most that anybody's ever lost in history. 62 points. 65-7, 62-7.
Yep, like I say, got that bad last night. For those of you who watched the game, who expected to see the game, Georgia came out from the jumped on them. Stetson Bennett looked awesome last night with his legs and his arm. The tight end, Brock Bowers, who's a top tight end draft prospect, went crazy. I keep forgetting number 84 name, but he went crazy last night. This Georgia.
I know you're talking about McConnell, Mc something.
Yeah, he went crazy. He went crazy as well. But
McConnell, that's the name.
Yeah, the defense was solid. Forced Max Duggan into 2 turnovers. Max Duggan had his worst, probably almost one of his worst games of the season. Quentin Johnston couldn't get open at all, their best receiver. But coming into this game, I knew Georgia was going to be on point tonight because, first of all, TCU is not Ohio State. Ohio is a big difference from TCU and Ohio State. Why they scored that? Why Ohio State was to stick with them. And it was scaring a lot of fans that Ohio State could win that game. You got a great quarterback in C.J. Stroud. You got the top 2 wide receiver in the country, and Marvin Harrison Jr. You have Jason Smith, the Jimma didn't even play. Henderson didn't even play in the game. But they got a top offensive line in the country, the best receiving core, arguably the best receiving core in the country. To me, Ohio State has the best receiving room. You got a great tight end in Stovert, Fleming. All of those guys, man. So, and that's one thing when I looked at in that game, when that game was presented towards Georgia and Ohio State, how was this Georgia secondary matchup against Ohio State? Ohio State won some battles in that. Stetson Bennett taking them down the field to get a field goal, but TCU don't have that. Outside of Quentin Johnston, you don't have that too many weapons against a Georgia defense, against a goddamn Georgia defense who's really good with Kelly Ringo coming out this year as one of the top corners in the draft. So from start to finish, Georgia pounded them. They jumped on them. And I say TCU just no answer and no match for them. They were outmatched. They was outclassed, out physical. And many people thought TCU could really win that game because what Ohio State did to them. But TCU doesn't have the best receiving core in college football to even present damage from Ohio State has the best receiving corps in football. That's why they were able to do what they did as well. So other than that, congratulations to Kirby Smart, Stetson Bennett, that Georgia team. That was a horrendous beatdown. It's like when you playing it's like when you boxing, and not only you're not getting a knockout, but when you TK, what's worse, you getting punished for all 12 rounds. They got punished for all 4 quarters. They got punished. Even by the backups. They got punished for all 4 quarters. And hey, Georgia made it seem like TCU shouldn't even been down.
Most definitely. I don't even know if I want to stats. Like I don't want to get into the stats, but I'm going to. Max Duggan, 14 of 22, only 152 yards, 2 picks. Running game really wasn't going for DeMarcado. He only had 59 rushing yards. And plus they was missing their main running back. It looks like he was hurt from the semifinal game. Johnston really didn't go off. He only had 1 catch for 3 yards. They had to do it with Darius Davis, 5 catches, 101 yards. So it was just crazy. And on Georgia's side of the ball, we got Stetson Bennett, 18 for 25, 304, 4 touchdowns. Kenny McIntosh, they spreaded the ball around in this offense with the receivers. Everybody ate. Brock Bowers, 7 catches, 152 yards and a touchdown. And Ladd McConkey, 5 catches, and he had 2 touchdowns. Mitchell had a touchdown. McConkey had that wide open touchdown that something happened in the secondary that broke down with TCU. Left that man. After that, I knew it was going to be a long night for TCU. But going to Anthony Price's question, where would TCU be ranked next year?
It's hard to tell. It's hard to say. I will have to answer that next year. I don't want to come out as being wrong or nothing on that part. We'll just have to wait till next year and see where they be ranking.
And I know they got questions about the playoff with a 12 team. Also, with a 12-team playoff make things better.
I wouldn't entertain it. I wouldn't be mad. I wouldn't be mad if they entertain it. I wouldn't mind if they do a top 8. I wouldn't mind if they do a top 8. I wouldn't mind if they do a top 8. The top 8 teams. But I know it's going to happen at some point. They're gonna do that. And like I say, I would like that. I would like that to happen.
I don't know if either this year or next year. Either this year or next year, I think that 12-team playoff starts, which would definitely be interesting. I don't think you'll just see your same teams. You're gonna get some underdogs. You're gonna get some other teams in there. And exactly, AP, I don't want no blowout games. So they ain't fun whatsoever. Blowouts is horrible. Like, but speaking of that, Dante, since Georgia is back-to-back champs and they're actually stated to win again next year, they're the favorites to win it again next year. Have the Georgia Bulldogs replaced the Roll Tide as being the most dominant team in college football right now?
As of right now, you can say they're the most dominant team, but I'm not going to say replace them. They still got a lot of work to do, but I will say they're the most dominant team in college football. As of right now, I wouldn't say they replace them over Alabama. I wouldn't say place them over Alabama as the most dominant team of all time in college football. I would say they are the most dominant team now in this stage.
Oh, Jeremy says Coach Prime's going to put a stop to that. All right. And shout out to Jeremy. He does represent all Colorado except for the Rockies. So, of course, he's going to go vouch for Coach Prime in the Colorado. I am excited to see what's going to go on happen up there with Colorado and Deion up there. But who gets drafted first, you think? Is it going to be Stetson Bennett or Max Duggan?
Max Duggan. I think he gets drafted first. I think Stetson Bennett may be a 5th or 6th round pick at best.
Or you think Duggan's going to go late second round, somewhere in the second, third round?
I think Duggan is going to go between the 2nd and the 3rd round.
some team's going to go out and get him.
Somebody's going to pick him up. Yep.
So we already know that Jalen Carter is going to declare in this year's draft. Like you said, he's one of the top linemen out there. And so is Keely Ringo. He's already declared. Blake Corum and Cam Rising are returning back to their teams, going back to Utah and Michigan. Good or bad move?
I think that could be a good move for them. That could be a good move for them. Blake Corum got injured. He didn't get a chance to play.
Yeah, Stinson is 25, still in college. That's
yep. Yeah, that's crazy. So I think it's a good move. I'm okay with the move of them returning back to college. Cam Rising got knocked up out of the game in the Rose Bowl. Blake Corum played hurt, like he was hurt right after the Illinois football game. So I think it's a good move. It's pretty much a good move. It's a solid move. I don't mind in there.
He says so. He a super senior. Yeah, this is his final year. So he didn't say if he's going to declare or not, but you might see Stetson Bennett in the NFL. Do you think he's a quality starter, or will he be somebody's backup? Like, do you think?
Yeah, I think Stetson Bennett is backup. It's going to be backup quarterback.
All right, y'all. I had to get the college out the way first, so we got that out the way. But the NFL regular season is over. Week 18. We've seen some highs in week 18. We've seen some lows. We've seen some spoilers in week 18. Not gonna go through everything in week 18, but everybody rested. Some teams rested their starters. Some teams didn't. Some teams had trouble with the backups. I.e., my Philadelphia Eagles, we still won the game. Got number 1 seed, NFC East. Let's talk about the Cowboys. The Cowboys had all their starters in, and they get beat by a third stringer and Sam Howell, who could be possibly the future for this Washington team. And speaking of Washington is clearing house of their offensive coordinator, defensive coordinator. Donte, is Rivera on his way out?
Yes, he's next. He ain't safe. I don't think Rivera's safe. He's next. Well, if anybody got information they know about Ron Rivera, Martin will tell you that he wants that man fired. And Remo will tell you they want that man fired. And I wouldn't be mad if they fire him. He definitely seems in his last press conference that he's by him saying he didn't know that they were fighting for a playoff spot, but you are head coach of the Commanders and not knowing. Even the players probably knew that they were fighting for the playoff spot. You don't think about that because you're trying to get the players ready. You're trying to do whatever it takes to go out there and get a win every Sunday. So you don't think playoffs. You don't think playoffs like right then and now. But in your mind, when you're fighting for a playoff spot, when you need a win. You listen to NFL Network or ESPN Network. You definitely do listen to that. Even though people say they don't pay much of attention. Yes, they do. Yes, some players do. So at the end of the day, Ron Rivera, since the Super Bowl year, has regressed as a head coach, and I think it's time for some new blood in Washington. And Washington got a solid football team. They just got to get the quarterback situation right. And Sam Howell looked pretty okay. He looked pretty okay against the Dallas Cowboys. And we're going to see if the Washington Commanders give him an opportunity. A lot of people said they think they should draft a quarterback in the draft. Washington Commanders will be tricky, man. They will be absolutely tricky. I don't think they will absolutely need to draft a quarterback. If they're going to draft one, they probably will draft one late in a later round somewhere. I'll probably get one in free agency if they do get a quarterback. Decide to get a quarterback, but one of those teams in a draft, they really don't need a quarterback. Do Sam Howell out there with Dallas, go ahead and give him a shot. See what he has.
Also, shout out, man, to Terry McLaurin again, breaking the 1,000-yard mark yet again in receiving. The man has done it every year, and y'all nobody really gives him credit, and you really give him credit, mind you. His quarterback hasn't been consistent, and for him to be able to do that each and every year, I think this is his 4th year he's done it. Has to say something about Terry McLaurin, and that's why Washington paid him the money. Now, if he can just get a steady receiver that he got some chemistry with, that's going to be a doggone good duo in Washington. Whoever the quarterback is, and Terry McLaurin. So again, shout out to Scary Terry for breaking over 1,000 yards yet again this season. Coach, playoffs, wildcard weekend is here. AFC, we got, of course, the Kansas City Chiefs having the first round bye, so they do have that week off. But we got 3 games and one on Monday. So we got the 4 seed in the Jaguars going up against the Chargers. We got the Baltimore Ravens going up against the Bengals. And also we got, who am I missing? Hold on. Oh, I ain't missing nobody. All right. Oh, the Bills and the Dolphins. We got that coming up. For Saturday, we got the Seahawks and the 49ers and the Jaguars and the Chargers. Now, y'all thinking, what? No Green Bay in the 7th seed? What happened? Well, if y'all was under a rock, week 18 was definitely a spoiler between the Green Bay Packers and the Lions. Now, some could say that the Rams got robbed in that game against the Seahawks. It was very controversial, but the Seahawks pulled that game off. Seahawks had to win that game for at least for them to have a chance. Now, here comes Green Bay and the Lions. Now, since the Seahawks won, it was all up against, the Seahawks had to be Lions fans. And what do you know? The Lions pulled it out and sent Aaron Rodgers home. So the Seahawks were now in the playoffs. They got their last and 7th seed against the 49ers. Another NFC West Division matchup. Dante, who you like against the Seahawks and the 49ers?
I like the 49ers. At home, I like the 49ers to win this game. The running game is going to be heavily involved with Christian McCaffrey has been rejuvenated since he left Carolina. With Elijah Mitchell in the backfield, Brandon Ayuk with George Kittle ability to catch and block. Brock Purdy continues to be pretty decent on the football field and not turning it over. I got San Francisco. Man. They're the hottest team in football right now.
I'm definitely gonna go with you and agree with you here. San Fran, definitely with Brock Purdy went from Mr. Irrelevant to Mr. Relevant, continues to do what he does each and every game. People are already doubting him. Oh, Brock Purdy, I don't think he's gonna, make so much noise. He don't have to. All he got to do is go in there and play his game. He got George Kittle. He's getting Deebo Samuel back. He got CMC and Christian McCaffrey. He got a good good defense and Nick Bosa and Fred Warner and those guys. Don't forget about Brandon Ayuk, who's come alive since Deebo went out. So they definitely got some playmakers, and Purdy is getting the job done. I am going with the 49ers here as well. Will it be a blowout? I don't know. It's kind of iffy with Seattle. Sometimes they can be lit. Sometimes they can be on it. We don't know. We all know Kenneth Walker the third is a stud, the rookie running back. We all know what DK Metcalf and Tyler Lockett can do. And you got Geno Smith. And then on the defensive side, they're kind of, uppy. But, we got Tariq Woolen, who is definitely a stud back there, rookie there. Next game on the docket for Saturday is the Chargers and the Jags. Now, we didn't think the Jags was going to get in it, but Tennessee pretty much all season had that AFC South locked up, and then they went on a 7-game losing streak, and the Jags take it over and win that game week 18 again. The Jags offensively didn't look good, and week 8 defense kept them in it and won this game. So, Dante, who are you picking between the Jags and the Chargers?
I'm going to take the Chargers in this game. I think it's on the road because, it's at Jacksonville, because Jacksonville got won the division, actually. I'm going to take the Chargers to win this game. Justin Herbert, first playoff game. Keenan Allen, these wide receivers. I trust them against, Jacksonville secondary and Austin Eckler. Trust him a lot. When he's not running the ball really good, he's going to be effective in the game because he can catch out of the backfield. He can play like a receiver. And you get to see Khalil Mack and Bosa wreak havoc on the defensive line. So I'm taking the Chargers to win this football game. I think it's going to be a close game.
Something in my heart is saying that I want to pick the Jags in this game. I'm going to go pick the Jags in this game just because. The Chargers not going to have Mikey Williams. I know they're still going to have Keenan Allen. They're still going to have Palmer.
Yeah, I didn't know they were going to have Mike Williams. I didn't know he went back hurt.
Rashawn Slater, he can come back, but he's not going to be ready this game. If they move on, he'll be ready the next game. Trevor Lawrence got to play solid offense, make the good decisions. Still got Travis Etienne. Zay Jones is a good receiver. They got connections. But I know this Charger defense is still going to come at them. But something in my heart is going to say the Jags are going to win this by, it's going to come back and win this game. It's going to be close. It's going to come down to possession. I think the Jags are going to pull it off the way that defense was playing against Tennessee. I know it was Tennessee, but still the defense won it for them. So I'm going to go and say the Jags is going to come from behind them in this game. All right, so moving on to Sunday's game. We got 3 games for Sunday, and I did put a community tab post out, and they want me to do the Ravens and Bengals, so I'm going to do that game on Sunday night. And I forgot to say, y'all, we are also on the Sports Empire Network as well, streaming over there, so make sure the link's in the description. You subscribe to the channel. Big thing is coming up on the Empire. Big thing is coming up. All right, so we got the Dolphins and the Bills. Now, the Bills, Week 18, prayers goes out to Damar Hamlin. He has been released from the hospital, but he's back in Buffalo getting more tests done. But things are looking up. He got released. He was talking to his teammates on FaceTime. He put out a tweet. So things are looking up for Damar Hamlin, but still continue to put those prayers out for 3 out there. Nyheim Hines took it to the crib twice against the Patriots last game. And I knew this Bills team was going to come out firing. Now, knowing that they got Damar Hamlin in their corner and they're going to go all out. They're going to ball out this game. Miami is not going to have Tua. Bridgewater's always getting hurt. He's out with something's wrong with his finger, thumb, something. So, again, they got to rely on Skylar Thompson. Who's winning this game, Dante?
That's the Bills and the Bills and Dolphins. I'm taking the Bills to win this game. Taking the Bills to win this game at home. I know the last time these two teams met, they met in Buffalo. The Buffalo Bills came out with it, but it's a difference between Tua and Skylar Thompson. So I'm going to take Josh Allen and the Buffalo Bills at home.
Definitely, I'm taking the Bills here. If Thompson plays, I don't know how this Miami team is going to be without Tua. Yes, they still got Tyreek Hill and Waddle, but Jeff Wilson, he probably get to start because Mostert's hurt again. Again, Mostert can't stay hurt. When Mostert's healthy, he's lights out. But he's broken something, a thumb or hand. He's always stay hurt. So you know what? I'm going to take the Bills here as well. They move on to the next round. We got the Giants and Minnesota. Now the first matchup, Minnesota won, but barely. Who are you taking in this game?
This is my playoff upset pick of the week. I'm taking the New York Giants to beat the Minnesota Vikings. Last time these two teams met, Minnesota just barely escaped on a long field goal. Basically, I think it was a long field goal. A field goal attempt that they escaped on. And you look at how the Giants lost that game. Yeah, Richie James dropped a wide open pass down the field. The Giants killed themselves with a lot of drops, and the defense giving up big plays in big time situations. So I'm going to take the Giants to win this game. This is my upset pick of the week: Giants versus Minnesota. In Minnesota, I'm going for the New York Giants to win this football game.
See, this is why we click so much, Dante, because I'm also going the Giants is going to beat Minnesota. It's just something about Minnesota. It has not been with them all season. They win games they ain't supposed to. Then they get blown out, and Is Kirk Cousins going to be the answer still moving forward? We all know what Justin Jefferson can do. Dalvin Cook, we all know what he can do when he's healthy. Is he going to be able to stay healthy? KJ Osborne, TJ Hockenson, Adam Thielen. It's the defense for me that's suspect. There's no way you should have been down 33-0 and had to come back to beat a Colts team. It's just something in that defense I don't like. And I think the Giants is going to beat Minnesota. They're going to be one and done. That's as soon as I seen the matchup, I'm like, the Giants got their match. They already faced them before. I know it's regular season and the playoffs was nothing, but they know the team. And the Giants almost pulled it off. So I'm right with you going with the New York Giants. And then we got the Ravens and the Bengals. We don't know if Lamar Jackson's going to play. I don't know. I don't know what the situation is with Lamar Jackson, but he's going up against the Bengals and Joe Burrow. Who you got in this game?
I got the Cincinnati Bengals beating the Baltimore Ravens, regardless if Lamar Jackson does play football or not for them. I still got the Bengals winning this game. That Super Bowl run really helped them. So now they got the experience. They have the experience of now that they made it to a Super Bowl last year. Joe Burrow played some good football down the stretch. You know, they got to get Joe Mixon involved in a running game. They got three great wide receivers. T. Higgins, Jamar Chase, Tyler Boyd, and a solid backup running back in Samaje Perine. So I'm going to take the ball. I'm going to take the Cincinnati Bengals to win this game. I wouldn't be surprised if it kind of be a blowout, but I don't think it's going to be a blowout because I think but the Ravens defense will be competitive. For a little stretch in the game. And by the way, they did an awesome job of locking up Roquan Smith. That he really has helped since he went over out to Baltimore. So he definitely deserves to get his money. So shout out to the Ravens for paying, Roquan Smith. But I got the Cincinnati Bengals winning this game.
I'm also taking the Bengals to win this game. Like you said, even with or without Lamar, they're going to win. Does Lamar being in there maybe increase Baltimore's chances? You can say that, but I still, like you said, it's not going to make a difference. Plus Lamar hasn't been practicing, and that rust when he gets in there, that PCL injury, his knee being swollen, he's not in. He's still having pain when he goes to make cuts. That's a big issue. Knowing like Lamar Jackson likes to run. So even with or without Lamar, the Bengals is winning this game still. Speaking of the Bengals, Dante, we just talked about Roquan Smith getting his bag today. Where does that leave Lamar Jackson? Do they pay him, or is this saying, you know what, we're going defensive side, we care about the defense, we're not going to care to Lamar Jackson in the offense? Does this mean that he's on his way out, or they close to signing him? What were you thinking in that situation? They gave Roquan Smith.
Well, I don't believe until I said that he's on his way out. I don't believe he's on his way out. I believe they traded for Roquan Smith for a reason. And the Chicago Bears traded him for a reason because they weren't going to pay him. And Roquan Smith, you got a feeling he wants to kind of move on. So this was a perfect situation for Roquan Smith to come. But I don't think it's a sign to Lamar Jackson that they won't keep him. I think they'll find a way to keep him. What if they have to place the franchise tag on him or not? But Lamar Jackson is going to be hard to negotiate with him because, again, he's his own agent. He knows his work. And you see how his worth is to the team, how he played a part when he got hurt. You see they couldn't put points on the board. You see they had trouble moving the ball without him. They don't really have consummate wide receivers. Bateman can't stay on the field. He got some upside, but he can no longer stay on the field. You see Deshaun Jackson, I think he got released, I believe. He was a reliability out there when he was playing. So at the end of the day, they need to get Baltimore with if they decide to go, they need to get some weapons. They need to get some weapons outside of Mark Andrews and Isaiah Likely and J.K. Dobbins. They need to get some receiving help for regardless who's going to be the quarterback of this team. But now I think they're going to talk to him. They're going to find a way to pay him. And watch this. Watch when I say this. It's going to be $200 million, not $230, not $250, but they're going to pay him $200 million because he's valuable. He's valuable to the Baltimore Ravens. But if nobody don't think he's valuable to that squad or not, hey, look at the last 2 years when Lamar Jackson was out of the lineup. Yes, you can say he's not been on the field, but when he has been on the field, Baltimore last year was 8-3. Baltimore was 8-3, 8-3 before he got hurt. And what they did, they missed the playoffs. This year, they barely made it in the playoffs. When he went down. So again, they struggle when Lamar Jackson is out. So I think they're going to try to negotiate the best way they could, but he could make it hard because he is on agent.
Definitely. The link is in the description for Coach Donte's channel as well. And it's right here on the screen. Coach Donte. I just put that in there. He'll come up. But no, the link is in the description for Coach's channel. Yeah, it's definitely up. It's definitely up to Baltimore what they're going to do. Do they want to lose a Deshaun? Do they want to lose a Lamar Jackson and his type of caliber quarterback? Do they want to try to test free agency to get in a big name in there? Or are they going to pay him? Again, he's not going to get that Kyler Murray, Deshaun Watson, Russell Wilson type of money. I think that window has sailed when he turned it down the first time. But we'll see what Baltimore does. Donte, let's go into our little awards here on the 7,200 seconds that we're going to do that we're starting up. I don't know if you got your handy dandy notebook and your list ready, but I'm ready when you are.
I'm ready. I ain't got to write the notes because I kind of got the players in my head who I know. All
right. So of course, we got best rookie in the NFC and AFC. In the NFC, I got Kenneth Walker.
All right. So in the NFC, very underrated, 1,000 yards receiver. I got Chris Olave from the New Orleans Saints. Went over 1,000 yards this year. Very good season. Drake London also had an underrated season, over 866 yards, but he plays for Atlanta. He ain't gonna get that recognition. But I got Chris Olave.
I'm definitely going with Walker again. Very underrated running back. Definitely. He had he hit the 1,000-yard mark this year. 1,050 to be exact, 9 touchdowns, 228 attempts this year. Definitely a running back that definitely was needed, knowing that Carson always got hurt. Penny can't stay healthy. He's definitely going to be a running back there for the future and out of Michigan State as well. So my rookie of the year is going to Kenneth Walker.
Yep.
So we got best defenders. I'm sorry. So we got to go to the AFC for the rookie side. I'm going to go with Sauce Gardner. Sauce Gardner has been tearing it up over there with the Jets, even on the defensive end as well. So I'm going to go with Sauce. Sauce hasn't really gave up too many touchdowns. So I'm going to go with Ahmad Sauce Gardner.
That's also my pick as well. Ahmad Sauce Gardner. Since day one, he's been no doubt the best cornerback, rookie cornerback the whole season. Yeah, so that's my same pick. That was my same pick, Ahmad Sauce Gardner.
All right. So we got the best defender category here. In the NFC, I'm going to go with Nick Bosa, leading the league in sacks with 18 on that San Francisco defense, along with Fred Warner. But Nick Bosa's continue to step up his game each and every year. I don't think he's been hurt this year. Last year, I know he had some injuries, but I'm going with Nick Bosa for best defender in the NFC this year.
Best defender of the NFC this year, I'm going to take Hassan Reddick. Hassan Reddick, 17 sacks this year. Can't ignore that. I'm going to take Hassan Reddick. Been very good. Got to give credit where credit due. Hassan Reddick was balling. So 17 sacks, that's a lot of goddamn sacks during the regular season. So
see, I didn't want to be a homer.
Yeah, but I understand you didn't want to be a homer. I'm not like that either. Though, when it comes to
best defender, we might have the same thing again. Gotta go with Sauce. Gotta go with Sauce Gardner on the defensive end as best defender in the AFC.
Best defender in the AFC. I want to go. And it's a very underrated. It's a very underrated move that I kind of want to go with him, and a lot of people don't realize that. I'm gonna go with Matt Milano from Buffalo.
All right. So who's the underrated player in the NFC? My underrated player in the NFC, I'm going to go with Tyler Lockett. Nobody talks about Tyler Lockett. He is the best deep ball receiver in the game right now over there with Seattle, and nobody talks about Tyler Lockett. He is a great receiver, can catch a ball, especially when you need him a deep pass, and he's a definitely good asset over there to Geno Smith from Seattle. So I'm going to go with Tyler Lockett.
Overrated player in the NFC for me, underrated. Mm-hmm. Okay, underrated AJ Terrell on the defensive side of the ball, just because he plays at Atlanta. Cornerback, doesn't get a lot of looks, but just because Atlanta sucks so bad, you're not going to hear a lot of him, but he's one of the most underrated quiet cornerbacks in the NFL. AJ Terrell is the most underrated defender in the NFC.
And on the AFC side, it's funny because you just mentioned him. Matt Milano. Nobody gives Matt Milano credit over there for the Bills or his name in general, what he's doing with that defense. So Matt Milano gets my vote being underrated in the AFC side.
AFC side of things. Garrett Wilson, rookie, New York Jets, had a phenomenal season this year. Phenomenal rookie season, Garrett Wilson.
All right, Donte. There's some things that are a little interesting, a little fun here. Who had the best celebration?
Who had the best celebration? It's Jared McKinnon. I love Jared McKinnon this year celebration. Every time he scored a touchdown, I love his celebration this year. I think Jared McKinnon had one of the top celebrations this year.
I'm gonna go with. I had a couple on my list. You could say Jalen Waddle every time he scores, he does the waddle, which I think is cool. The gritty is getting a little overrated, and that's getting too done now. We need something different now. I'm tired of the gritty now. Everybody doing it. We need something new. But the best celebration that I said, I'm gonna go with definitely Jalen Waddle and his waddle. Definitely original, authentic. It's part of his name. But it's definitely, who's thinking about doing a waddle when they score in the end zone? But I did have Joe Mixon his coin flip when he did on Sunday. That was interesting. He was sticking it to the NFL in that coin flip. And I had, as much as I hate Dallas, but they tight ends, when they hopped into the Salvation Army bucket, they both in the tight ends all day whack-a-mole, that was cool. But I'm going to give it to Jalen Waddle.
Yeah.
Who had the best performance of the year?
Who had the best performance of the year?
NFC and AFC side. I actually got two.
I got Justin Jefferson, week 1, had the best performance out of week 1 this year for me. Justin Jefferson, there was games that he was literally unstoppable, especially against Green Bay. Justin Jefferson, to me, had the best performance on Green Bay. And against the Colts, he made a big impact. He also had he had 200, I don't know how many 200-yard games he had, but Justin Jefferson was phenomenal. To me, he had one of the best performances this year.
I got JJ as well. That 227-yard game against Detroit. He ain't scored no touchdowns, but he had 227 yards. Definitely got to give it to Justin Jefferson for best performance of the year. And then on the AFC side, you got to go with Derrick Henry against, I think it was your Houston Texans, 32 carries, 229 in that game. So Derrick Henry gets it for me on the AFC side.
Yeah, I'm gonna have to go with I'm gonna take Derrick Henry also. I think Derrick Henry is really, really dominant. You can also take Jalen Waddle as well. He has a great performance. Garrett Wilson has some moments, but Derrick Henry is a solid option. I'm taking Derrick Henry.
All right, last one. Who was the game? What was the game of the year for you?
The game of the year. Oh my God. The game of the year for me, I love that Buffalo at home versus the Dolphins. I had Buffalo at home versus the Dolphins. That was a solid game all the way from start to finish. A very good, very solid game. So I'm gonna put Buffalo and Miami on that one.
I'm going to take Buffalo, but it's not against Miami, against Minnesota.
Okay.
I think that was the game of the year for me because that game went back and forth. Went into overtime. Josh Allen fumbling in the end zone, which nobody thought that would happen. Minnesota pulled it off. That game was great from second half on. I think that was one of the best games of the year. Definitely Bills in Minnesota gets my book. Bills and Dolphins is good too. We actually called that game too.
Yeah.
That game was definitely great. But that's our list. That's our award list for the NFL. I'm sure we'll do one for NBA when that comes time. Next show we'll definitely do our consensus of the NFL. We'll do the rookie MVPs. We'll do that all again. But that was just our little spin on things. But head coaches, they got the can. Coach, you have been talking about this one coach all season long, and here is your time to talk about Mr. Cliff Kingsbury. Kingsbury.
Oh, let's get this going now. So, everybody been knowing since the middle of the season. Been talking about Cliff Kingsbury. This is the same Cliff Kingsbury that can rarely make a bowl game with the best quarterback in the league on his football team at Texas Tech. You had the best quarterback in the league. You can only win 6 games with Patrick Mahomes. You come in the NFL, you have a horrible record. You get the best receiver in football. You handpick your own quarterback, and you still suck ass as a head coach. You had probably one of the worst playoff performances as a head coach that anyone probably has ever seen. You have a chance. You pay Kyler Murray. You have guys on the sideline arguing that you jumped in front of. The team quit on you versus the San Francisco 49ers, which is in no way in hell that should be happening. You got players don't want to tackle. You got players not buying in to you. Giving up on the head coach, and it's a travesty. I don't think this man should be a head coach in the league again. Now, I don't think he deserves an offensive coordinator job. He's not a good play caller. The man is not good. And again, this is embarrassing. That 49ers game, he should have been fired that night. He should have been fired that night when nobody wanted to tackle George Kittle. Every 49er that ran the ball, the Cardinals didn't even attempt to try to make a tackle or make any type of an effort to stop a play. Cliff Kingsbury is an embarrassing head coach to the Arizona franchise, and he shows time and time again, even with a potentially, Kyler Murray could be a top 10 quarterback in the NFL. He really could be. Cliff Kingsbury wasted this man. Cliff Kingsbury is a terrible joke and jerk off head coach. That's what Cliff Kingsbury is. And like I said, I'm standing by it. He doesn't deserve another head coaching job in the NFL. He's one of the worst play callers in the National Football League. Have no idea how to make adjustments. No accountability. Cliff Kingsbury stinks as a head coach. He is a bum. He is ass as a head coach. And he does not deserve to be a head coach in this league. And he does not deserve to be a play caller in the NFL. He is horrendous. He is stink. He needs to go back to college if he want to have any opportunity of coaching again. But NFL players, hell no. Cliff Kingsbury fucking stinks. That's the bottom line. Because Coach Donte said so. Cliff Kingsbury stinks.
So it is rumored that he doesn't want to. He said he has no intention of going back to college play, and there's also rumors that he could be the next offensive coordinator for the Patriots. It's just rumors.
Please don't hire him. Don't hire him. Don't sign a check. Bill Belichick. He thinks he's horrible.
Also another coach that got fired, which I think it happened again. Also, I don't think got a fair shot again in Lovie Smith and the Houston Texans. Whoever takes this Texans job, I feel like the Texans and the organization, you know the Texans better than I do because you're there in Houston. I just feel like whoever comes in, the owners want change done right away. They know it doesn't happen overnight. So for them to go fire Lovie Smith, I don't think they should have fired Lovie Smith. I think the players played great under Lovie Smith. It was offensively that was y'all issue. I know y'all had some stuff on the defensive side, but y'all defense isn't that bad. Isn't that bad that other people think? Because, y'all was in some games. Y'all didn't really get blown out by much in games. Maybe only 2 games y'all really got blown out by. But your thoughts on Lovie Smith getting fired?
Yeah, like I say, I wouldn't have been mad if he stayed, but for what I was hearing yesterday, and I know the reports are really actually true, now that the players are sticking out and the coaches are sticking out, he should be fired. He should have been fired. And I'm gonna tell you if I'm gonna just fill everybody in on some information what was going on. The players wanted to make adjustments, and he would not listen to the players. He would not listen to the players. He would not even take a thought process on it. To adjust to the players. He was using players the wrong way, like Derek Stingley. Derek Stingley is not his own coverage cornerback. He's a man-to-man type of cornerback. And Dameon Pierce said he could have came back and played. He didn't want to play him. Derek Stingley didn't want to come back and play him. They could have came back and played on the field. He didn't want to play her. He didn't want to play him. The coaches was going to him personally and telling him, let's try to make adjustments on this and this and that. He did not want to listen to the coaches. He actually ignored everybody and went by his own way. And plus the game that the Texans supposed to tank, he didn't want to tank. He should have kept Brandon Cooks out of the game. Brandon Cooks already made it be known he ain't going to be that next year. And I'm happy that he ain't going to be that he's going to be with a playoff contending team. He doesn't need to be there. So it was a lot of rumbling going down. Him and Nick Caserio did not get along from the get-go. I'm putting that on Nick Caserio because if you and Lovie Smith hasn't gotten along, haven't saw eye to eye, why the hell did you hire him in the first place if you know he doesn't see eye to eye? So it was a lot of things went on in the press conference that came out, and I believe this time by the demeanor of Nick Caserio and Bob McNair, whatever coach they get is going to be a long-term answer. I don't think this one is going to be a one and done. They know, and Nick Caserio and Cal McNair, especially Nick Caserio, he knows that he's got to step it up. He knows he's got to get the right head coach and keep them long term. So he knows that a lot of pressure on that. He's on a lot of fire right now. And then he came out and said he already came out. Bob McNair, and it went bad. Bob McNair said, "I'm going to be involved in a part of everything, the draft and the head coaching search and everything." It's kind of messed up when the owner even saying that. And even coming up and saying that. So end of the day, I wouldn't been mad. Like I say, he had to be fired. He had to be fired from the reports I read, and the reports really were true. The players were going up to him and trying to make adjustments and asking him about an idea. He would not listen to him. And the coaches also. And he was basically ignoring everybody and just giving everybody basically the fuck you. So he, like I say, for what I read and for what I know, in the press conference and me being in spaces, with Texans people and me talking about that, he should have been fired on that. If you and Nick Caserio also played a part in it too, because if it's just like if me and you wasn't clicking and me and you never saw eye to eye, why would I want to be on a podcast with you? Why would I want to work with you if we don't see eye to eye? Why would I want to do that? So this is Nick Caserio doing as well. He doesn't. This is his doing. You didn't click with Lovie Smith all last year. That goes back when David Culley was fired. They never clicked. They never had a competent relationship. Well, why did you hire him? Why did you even think about hiring him? You should have hired who you wanted to hire last year. But now it's a lot of pressure. He knows it, and he knows he got to get this right. And Bob McNair is going to be a part of the coaching search as well. So with whoever coaches they choose, it's not going to be a one and done this time. It's not going to be a one and done this time. It's a lot of pressure on Nick Caserio.
So you being a Texan fan and you right there in the city, who would you want to see in this organization? What kind of coach? Do you want a younger coach? Do you want more of a veteran? Like, what are you looking for?
I mean, the coaches that's out there right now that the Texans are linked to, they're linked to Jonathan Gannon for the Philadelphia Eagles, Ben Johnson from the Lions, D'Amico Ryans, and there was another coach that came up that I forgot. James Steichen, yeah, and it was another one that I was looking at in the group chat that the Texans wanted to get as well, wanted to kind of get as well. Wanted to get, I believe it was the OC from the New York Giants. His name Mike something. He's an OC from the Giants. So offensive coordinator for the Giants. So whoever they get, it's not a certain coach. I would really love D'Amico Ryans. I really love D'Amico Ryans, former Houston Texans, former linebacker, great all-pro linebacker. But I'm okay with whoever they get as long as this coach will be here long-term to help grow these guys up. You cannot continue to make the same mistakes and have a one-year rental head coach. You got to have some stability in your organization. So whatever the Texans decide to get, I'm fine with it. I'm okay with it. As long as you put this team in a position to improve and win. And it starts by hiring the head coach and hire is going to tell you and everything what they want in the draft. So I basically want an offensive guy as well. But I wouldn't be mad if we get a Jonathan Gannon. I wouldn't be upset. I would not be upset whatever coach that they decide to get. I would not be upset.
And we all know here in Philly, y'all can take Jonathan Gannon. If y'all like him, y'all can take him.
Hey, we'll take him. We got no problem with that. He wasn't the only problem in Philly. He wasn't the only problem.
But no, it's definitely going. If Shane Steichen definitely gets picked, he definitely can know how to run offense. Look, he's going to run. He's going to know, definitely going to know the strengths of whoever your quarterback is, running back. He's definitely going to know that, I can say. So
all I just know that if he comes, he's going to be on the defense. He's not going to be a part of the play calling. He's going to select the offensive coordinator to come with him. So the defensive principles basically will be his job. But whoever the Texans does decide to get, I'm fine. I'm fine with it. D'Amico Ryans, I'm jumping on the top roof if we do get him.
Oh man, who else I got here? Aaron Rodgers, is he coming back? We all know he got put out the playoffs by a Lions team who definitely improved this year. What, 8-9? They were 8-9.
They were 9-8.
9-8, and I said they was gonna win 7 games. They proved all of us wrong. Jamal Williams breaking Barry Sanders' record for touchdowns. That might be the next jersey I get. If y'all see me sporting the Lions jersey, it's Jamal Williams. But is Aaron Rodgers coming back?
A lot of people say they don't know. They don't think he's coming back. He gave him signs that he wasn't coming back, but I believe that when I see that. I believe he makes stay in Green Bay. So I'm gonna say yes, he goes back. I believe that when I see it. I believe that when I see him leave, that's when I believe it. But I know all signs. He showed you a lot of signs that he did not want to be there, but he still stayed there. So I'm gonna say yes until it's otherwise. He gave us a lot of signs that he wanted to leave. Even when he wanted to be traded, he gave us a lot of signs he still ain't left yet. If Aaron Rodgers wanted to leave, he would have been left. He would have been left. Trust me, he would have forced his way out somewhere. But I'm gonna say yes, he stays there until otherwise.
And Allen Lazard, I don't think he's coming back either. I think he's
not coming. Yeah, he's not coming back. He already admitted he wasn't coming back.
I don't know. Like I said, I don't think Rodgers is done. His ego won't let him be done, but we don't know. Like Kyle said, he is building up the drama. We just gonna have to wait. We just gonna have to wait. The cliffhanger at the end of the episode is what this is with Aaron Rodgers.
Yep.
Nathaniel Hackett, Matt LaFleur said he would not be opposed to go back to Green Bay. I think Hackett could be a good coordinator, just not head coach. So, I mean, if you want to go back to Green Bay, let him go back to Green Bay.
Yep.
Now, Jerry Jones, he already said that Mike McCarthy's job is safe. But somehow, someway, I don't believe a thing Jerry says. So, Dante, my question to you is, if Dallas loses this game to Tampa Bay and old man Brady, is McCarthy's seat and others in jeopardy? Not just Mike McCarthy. It could be Dan Quinn. Dan Quinn.
I think Dan Quinn going to go out and get a head coaching job. I really believe Dan Quinn is going to go out and get a head coaching job this year. He's going to listen to people. He's going to listen to other teams. I believe Dan Quinn will go out probably and get a head coaching job. But I do believe Jerry Jones, when he says Mike McCarthy will be safe, I do believe when he says he will actually be safe for Jerry Jones. So I kind of believe that when he said he was going to be safe. But should he be on the hot seat? Yes, he should be on the hot seat if he loses in the first round. He should be that. But for Jerry Jones coming out and admitting it, hey, ain't no way in the world. I don't see him getting off of his word and him saying.
I don't know. This is like, how do you invest so much in this team knowing you're the owner? You all know how the Dallas Cowboys franchise is. You paying Dak this money and he can't get it done. You paying McCarthy this money. You paying Kellen more money in the offensive if they don't get it done. I don't know. Something about to happen in that organization.
I believe Dan Quinn gonna go get him a head coaching job. I believe that. I believe he's gonna leave. It's just hard, to see Mike with him already admitting and coming out and saying that Mike McCarthy is safe. It's basically telling everything he's gonna stay and he's committed to Mike McCarthy, but not Dan Quinn. I think he's leaving. I think he's gone after this year.
I think he might change his mind. He'll say that now, but let them see how poorly Dallas does in that playoff, and things might change quickly. We might see the next day. He might get his pink slip on the field. Here you go, sir. Thank you for your services, but you can go.
Yeah, what happened?
I still think something's gonna happen if Dallas don't win the playoff game. Something's about to go down. And then we're gonna hear all the excuses, all the shoulda, coulda, wouldas from Cowboys fans. I don't want to hear it. Y'all haven't won a playoff game in how long? 27 years.
Texas got more playoff wins than they do. We got 2.
So it's y'all supposed to have this elite defense who has been struggling. And Dak Prescott, oh my God, what 8 weeks now? Where interceptions and his gameplay and how they looked on Sunday against the third string Commanders team. 23-6, y'all lose. This is not definitely how y'all want to go into playing Tampa Bay. Now Tampa Bay's getting hot, especially with we didn't talk about that game. I forgot that game was on Monday. Who's winning this game, Tampa Bay or Dallas?
And to prove it otherwise, I'm taking Tampa Bay. I'm taking Tampa Bay. And to prove it otherwise,
that will be the Monday night game. Exactly. I can't bet against Brady in the playoffs. We all know how Tom Brady is in the playoffs. The regular season is something different, but a playoff Tom Brady, knowing I think he might be getting some of his offensive line back. Leonard Fournette, especially Mike Evans going back off and him clicking again. I can't bet on Brady. I cannot. I'm gonna go with Tom Brady in the Bucs here to send Dallas home yet again. Now the winner of that game goes up against Philly. So it could be a rematch of last year's playoffs for Philly and Tampa, or it can be a third meeting between Dallas. But
yeah, I mean, like whoever the lowest seed in Philly plays, the lowest seed. Well, they play the lowest seed. Whoever the lowest seed in, like if it's a 7 seed, if they still in, they play the 7 seed. The lowest seed, Philly get the lowest seed in. Y'all get the lowest seed in the playoffs.
Okay, so
Tampa Bay the lowest seed. That's y'all get. If Dallas the lowest seed, that's who y'all get. But any low seed, Eagles have in the second round.
All right, I got you. All right, so but no, I'm going with Tampa Bay. Tampa Bay's winning this game, and I still think McCarthy and them going to be on the hot. It's just not going to be McCarthy. Kellen Moore is going to go too.
Yeah.
So, because he's the main, he's in the mix too. Speaking of the Giants, they're in the playoffs as well. They go up against Minnesota. But Brian DeBall, he says that the playoffs is overrated. Experience in the playoffs is overrated. Do you agree or disagree with him?
Disagree.
Like, why? I don't understand. Why would you say it's overrated though? Like, what kind of? Why is it overrated? You gotta have the experience to get into the playoffs. I mean, he's been there with Buffalo as a coordinator, not a head coach. So maybe I don't know if he's confusing the two, or I would feel like you have to have experience going into the playoffs. Either if it's a coordinator, a head coach, something. You got to have some type of experience or know how to work your way around the playoffs. Regular season is something different, but the playoffs, you lose, that's it. You don't go no further. So for him to say it's overrated, I definitely don't agree.
Now I believe if he said playoff matchups, then I agree with that, because no matter who you play, the Giants playing Minnesota, who's listed, will be a favorite of this matchup. I believe the Giants will beat Minnesota this weekend, and I think that's a good matchup for the Giants against Minnesota. But again, I think he talking about, like he said, he trying to say matchup wise, it's kind of overrated. And yes, everybody has a chance. Everybody has a chance in the playoffs. It's 0-0 once you step in the playoffs. In any type of playoff scenario, it's 0-0. Yes, you can be better in the regular season. Yes, you can have a high seed, but once you get in that playoffs, everything changes. Everything is on an even playing field. Even if you are playing at home, it's an even playing field in the playoffs. Once you into that playoff, it's an even playing field now.
All right, most definitely. So we got the head coaches. Of course, we all got 5 vacant teams that we know of. So we got the Colts, we got the Denver Broncos, Carolina, Arizona, and the Texans. Now, if you're a head coach, what team attracts you more that you would want to coach them out of those 5?
What's the head coach?
So it's Denver, the Colts, the Texans, Arizona, and Carolina. Out of those teams who need head coaches, what attracts you more?
I'm going to go with the Colts. I think the Colts is a solid team. I just think they need a quarterback to get back into that AFC South hunt. I think that the Colts will be a good team. Denver also will be attractive too with the right head coach. If Sean Payton is at Denver, I believe Denver will improve. I believe the best play caller in making adjustments, offensive coordinator in the National Football League with Sean Payton. In creative plays and all of that, I believe if he goes to Denver, he turns Denver around. But the Colts, and a lot of this also depends. Like, again, we going with everybody going through mock drafts and already, but it's a stipulation out there, and people may not notice this. Derek Carr is done in Las Vegas. So a lot of that will turn to see what the Raiders do with Derek Carr and where they send Derek Carr. So a lot of that's where you can figure out what teams will want a quarterback or not. The Derek Carr situation. If he goes to the Jets or if he goes to the Indianapolis Colts, now that takes the Indianapolis Colts. They don't need a quarterback. Now you've got the Raiders, that the only team that kind of need a quarterback and want to jump, that kind of need a quarterback. So it just depends on the move and what team that Derek Carr go to in the offseason for a lot of teams to see if they want a quarterback or not. But I think the Colts will be an interesting job. I just think that quarterback will be more interesting than anything for the Indianapolis Colts. But if they decide to trade for Derek Carr, I think Derek Carr, first time playing around the top 10 defense, Michael Pittman Jr., Alec Pierce was an underrated rookie this year. One of the top 2 running back in football, Jonathan Taylor. A solid defense. Shaquille Leonard coming back next year, healthy. I believe this Colts team could be fine next year if they find a way to get to Derek Carr.
Most attractive, I'm going to agree with Kyle and say Denver Broncos. Russell Wilson, I don't think he's done. I know everybody's right. Yes, he had a horrible season this year. I don't think Russell is bad. Is going to be bad next year. I don't think he's going to be bad next year. Right, again, with the right coach in there to call the right plays. He has a good He has a good offense. Williams will be back healthy next year. Running back, you got Jerry Jeudy. You get Tim Patrick back if he can stay healthy. Cortland Sutherland. Those guys over there, it definitely can ball out on the offense side, and he has a good defense. Minus Bradley Chubb, but still, he has a good defense over there in Denver. So I like Denver. Give him the right head coach who can turn him around. He is going to be okay. Kyle says Russ was playing better until the concussion against the Chiefs. So I'm not writing off Russell. I think next year he'll be better than he was last year. So I'm gonna say Denver is a good attractive spot. Now Sean Payton can come back, but when he does come back, the Saints still have rights to him, and we would need to trade. Who would offer them a first round for Sean Payton, in your opinion?
It's hard, but it has been done before. For those of you guys don't know, first round pick has been offered to a head coach before. The Raiders, the Tampa Bay Buccaneers offered a first round pick to get John Gruden, and it paid off for a Super Bowl with him. So who will offer a first round pick for them? I kind of believe, the Texans got the asset to offer a first round pick. You can offer the number 12 pick to him as well, but I don't think the Texans are going to do that. We don't need to do that offer at this moment. We need all the picks that we can kind of get. But other than that, you have the Denver Broncos. I don't know. Do the Broncos have a first round pick? Do they pick in the first round this year?
I'm not sure.
Well, I don't think that offer would get done if they don't have a first round pick. I don't think that offer would be done if they don't have a first round pick. So like I say, it's going to be hard. I'm going to plead the fifth on this one. It's going to be hard to say who will take him with a first round pick. Get a first round pick for Sean Payton and give up one. It's going to be hard. So I'm going to take plead the fifth on this one. This really is a tough question to ask because the Texans have a first round pick. The Browns, I don't think they had a first round pick. They lost theirs to my Houston Texans. So that's another thing. I think Kevin Stefanski is on a hot seat as well over there. So that's a hard question. That's really a good question, but it's also a hard question to ask because, again, you got the Carolina Panthers. You got the Carolina Panthers. They got a first round pick, but I think whether they spend it or not, they can use a first round pick. And Steve Wilkes done a great job with the Carolina Panthers team until Sunday. They still end up beating the New Orleans Saints Sunday. They closed out the season really, really strong. So it's gonna be hard. That's hard. That's a good question, but it's also a hard question to ask.
All right, so here's the top 10 order, or top 18 right now. So the top 10 is the Chicago, Houston, Arizona's 3, Colts is 4.
Ooh, Arizona, but they're not gonna do it. I don't think they would do it. I don't think they would give up a top 3 pick. They don't need a quarterback either, though.
Denver was going to be the 5th pick, but they gave it to Seattle in that.
Hey, matter of fact, speaking of that Arizona pick is interesting. It's really interesting. That Arizona pick is interesting. But then again, the Saints need a quarterback too. They would need a quarterback too. So other than that, but they will be behind Houston. So at the end of the day.
So Seattle's 5.
Okay.
Detroit 6. No, that might change though. Hold on. Let me make sure I got the accurate list here. Because I think Detroit wouldn't pick 6. They actually where is it? Let me make sure. So, all right. Oh yeah, that was right. Okay. Detroit 6. Vegas is 7. Atlanta's 8. Carolina's 9. And then we got the 10th pick. The Eagles got the 10th pick from the Saints.
Yeah, I believe Arizona will be the intriguing number 1 pick to get. You don't need a quarterback. And the head coach is gone. So, hey, the closest thing is Carolina. Not Carolina, but the Cardinals. The closest thing is the Cardinals right now.
Definitely interested. And then, the Lions got 2 first-round picks. Okay. But speaking of the Bears, GM Ryan Poles said he said he has to be blown away to pick a QB at number 1. For him even saying that, do the organization not trust Justin Fields?
I think they trust Justin. I don't know. It could be signs, it can be signs of that too by him saying that the offer has to be the right offer for them to trade Justin Fields. So that means you probably consider with the right offer of trading Justin Fields. That makes me seem like, on Get Up this morning when Greg Zerline, with Mr. Zerline was talking about that. Mr. Tannenbaum. He was talking about that he would trade Justin Fields He will trade Justin Fields. And that makes it seem like by Ryan Poles coming out and saying that if it's the right deal on the table and he's blown away, he will do it. So no, you can't trust Justin Fields. You can't trust him. But him saying that, you can't trust him. You know you can be a part of Chicago any moment now. You know that when he came out and said that if it's the right move, and if I'm Justin Fields and I heard that, get me up out of here. Give me that crazy. He was trying to say entertaining the trade. Get me up out of here. Get me up out of here. If he said that, get me up out of here.
Yeah, it's facts. I agree with you there. Yeah. Like you don't have no faith and trust me is bad enough. You put me on the field out there with no weapons to put me in danger. Weapons, no offensive that I have 1,000 yards as a quarterback in rushing because I had to run.
If I'm Justin Fields, I'm gonna show you. You get me up out of here. You get Bryce Young. You take Bryce Young. You get me up out of here.
Chicago fans will have a fit. And we know a couple of them.
Dooley, Damian, all of them people. Oh my goodness, boy!
They would have a fit.
Now Bryce Young is good, but Justin Fields right now is better. Is better right now. Bryce Young hasn't played a football game. Come on, you'll be outrageous thinking about that. But now that he said that, if I'm Justin Fields, hey, you right? Get me up out of here. Trade me.
Tannenbaum would trade him. What team is he running?
Kyle, I'm telling you, if I'm Justin Fields and I heard that, now that I know he said that if he has to be blown away to trade Justin Fields, that let me know that he could trade him with the right deal. If the right deal was made, he could do it. I'm putting pressure on him. Hey, you want to come up? You don't have no faith in me? I bust my ass for this team with no offensive line. I'm running around trying to make a play. I have to play with Finding Nemo that hasn't showed up since his rookie year. Then Byron Pringle is not even that good. I've got to play with guys like Equinemius St. Brown. I got to play with an inconsistent Cole Clement. And then Darnell Mooney, which was his best weapon as a number 2 wide receiver. Oh, yeah, you get me up out of here then. You go ahead and you get me up out of here since you said that. Now, I would be like, I'm not playing another football game for the Chicago Bears. I'm not playing another football game. Yeah, I put pressure on them, really. I do. I tell them, trade me. Get me up out of here.
I think the Bears should trade back and get more picks. That's the stuff.
That's the option. When they got the number 1 pick, it's already been talked about that they can trade that pick back. And that's why Texans fans are really mad that Lovie Smith threw that game for them Sunday, because they know the Bears don't need a quarterback. They know they can trade the pick down. Or either pick Will Anderson or Jalen Carter with that number 1 overall pick. So they know it's a big possibility they can trade the pick down for someone to come up to get a quarterback. But I've been saying, hey, you still got CJ Stroud, who's going to declare for the draft. He has not declared, but he's going to do that. So CJ Stroud, you're gonna come out with a quarterback anyway. You're gonna come out with a great quarterback anyway. So anyway, it goes.
So before we move on to NBA in your coaches list, some more stuff coming out of Arizona's camp. D-Hop could be on the trading block. Who would be in the sweepstakes for Darren Hopkins?
The whole NFL, the whole damn NFL, except the Eagles.
Right.
Tennessee needs to get a wide receiver. They can use a DeAndre Hopkins. Boy, I don't want to scare people though. I swear to God, I don't want to scare anybody. I don't really want to scare anybody. I'm telling you, I don't want to scare, and I don't want to. Just imagine him being on the Kansas City Chiefs with Patrick Mahomes. I don't want to scare Eric like that. I really don't want to do that, but it's a habit. Bill Belichick.
Let Hopkins go to Kansas City. We might as well just give Kansas City the damn trophy.
I'm telling you, you have a lot of teams that would entertain that. The Panthers could entertain it. They can entertain it as well.
Knowing that he's in his up in age in his career, wouldn't he want to try to go to a contender?
Yeah, he would, but I think the Panthers could be good with him and with DJ Moore already being good. That's a number. You getting the number 1 receiver. You got 2 number 1s all of a sudden. With Carolina, you got 2 number 1s. I mean, I'm not even entertaining. The Colts would be good for him. But hey, I don't want to see him in the AFC South. I don't want to see him in the AFC South playing on the Indianapolis Colts, but it could definitely happen with him. It depends on what the quarterback that they get over there. He's definitely not. The Bears need to entertain him. Get Justin Fields a weapon. I think the Bears will be very good, but then again, you're going to have to give up the first overall pick. The first overall pick, they're going to want to entertain the first overall pick for the Arizona Cardinals. So
what if Rodgers decides to come back and Green Bay gets a Hopkins?
Yep, Green Bay could be a difference maker because they need a receiver. And Allen Lazard already admitted he's not coming back next year as well. So it's a lot of teams outside of that can definitely entertain them. The New York Jets, thinking about them, they need weapons, offensive weapons as well. But he's going to want to go to a contending team. But I believe the Arizona Cardinals, they got his rights, but he doesn't predict when he wants to go. Whatever the best deal for the Arizona Cardinals, that's what they're going to send him to.
Right. And one more other thing, they're saying that Kyler Murray's going to have some say in the next head coach. Why would you leave that up to Kyler Murray?
I mean, he's going to have some say, but that don't mean he has the final say on that. They got to approve it to him. So you want to try to do whatever it takes to keep your quarterback happy, to keep your quarterback there, keep your quarterback happy. But just because they say, he wants to entertain it. He wants to entertain it and let him be a part of the coaching search. That doesn't mean they're going to take his word. They're going to go with the best coach for that possibility. But that lets you know he does have an effect on what coach he wants to be there. Damien, hey, it's a possibility now that Brian Poles immediately came out and said it. If I'm Justin Fields, I'm telling him, yo, you trade me. You go ahead and do it.
All right, Coach, before we go into the NBA, we got to see who's number one this week. We got the coaches list, y'all. Let's see who Coach's top playmakers is for the week.
All right, so y'all already know, man. Coach Donte come up with his coaches list, man. This list, it's going to be a good list like it's going to be every week. So we're going to start with number 5. Ladies basketball hasn't really been popping like that much, so I just picked the top performance, that I think that stood out. And so I'm going to go with Notre Dame point guard Olivia Miles. Had a solid week this weekend, 17 points, 5 assists, 6 rebounds, a solid guard, 1 for 1 from the 3 for Olivia Miles, the guard out of Notre Dame. So college basketball for the women really hasn't been, popping like that. So this is the first time she has made this list. Another first timer that made this list. Nothing in the NFL really kind of popped out this week. No big numbers like that in the NFL, but this is the biggest number. I was fighting between two people, but I think this is impressive. Drake London, 6 catches, 120 yards. I say he has 800 yards on the season. That's a pretty solid year for a rookie. Drake London, and he also missed a couple of games this year, I believe. I think he missed a couple of games this year, so he probably could have easily went over 1,000. So Drake London at number 4, the first time he has made this list. At number 3, college basketball, man. This is the second time I believe this guy made this list. Zach Edey, the center out of Purdue, the big 7'4" dude out of Purdue. 30 points, 3 assists, and 13 rebounds for Zach Edey. Having a solid year, and he's been good for the Purdue Boilermakers. By the way, Purdue is number 1 in the nation. So, hey, Zach Edey's a big part of that. What's good, Jeff? Number 2, this dude been balling, man. Jalen Brunson, 44 points yesterday, 4 assists, 7 rebounds for Jalen Brunson. Definitely, I believe this is the second time on this list, so I'm not mistaken. I might go back and look and see if this is first or a second time, but this is second time. I believe I'm gonna go with this. Probably the second time Jalen Brunson been on this list, or probably the first time. So at number 1, Stetson Bennett. That's the biggest stage. So I was fighting between him and Jalen Brunson, but so I said I'm gonna give the nod to Bennett, the biggest stage of them. And boy, did he perform. Stetson Bennett, 18 of 25, 304 yards, 4 touchdowns. You know how many touchdowns he had total? 6 touchdowns. In the national championship, 2 with his legs. 3 carries, 39 yards, and Stetson Bennett has made this list the number one pick on this list this weekend. Congratulations to these fellas that made this list. We got 3 of them. We got probably everybody was probably first timers on this list. It'll be the first time everybody been on this list. So that is the coach list of this week. We'll see y'all. The coaches list will be back next coming weekend for you guys. So, yep, those are 1 through 5.
All right, let's see who makes Coach Donte's list next week. But yeah, that was definitely some good ones on that list this week. Let's get into the NBA for the last half here, because next on the Sports Empire Network, we got the Big 3 podcast coming up. So make sure y'all don't want to miss that as well. And if you're into tickets, I know playoff time is coming up. NBA, NHL, you name it, we got it. Make sure y'all go to SeatGeek, promo code SE, and save $20 on your first purchase as well. So make sure y'all go to SeatGeek, SEN, for the Sports Empire Network, and also save yourself $20. Now the NBA definitely got interested. Some things is happening. We get Steph Curry back. Steph Curry comes back. KD will be out for at least a month. Donte, how is that going to affect the Nets?
It may affect them. It's gonna affect them pretty much a lot. I don't know how much it's gonna affect them with Kyrie Irving still in the lineup. I think they still can win some games, but they definitely need KD if they want to get anywhere near championship contender or get anywhere near past the first round. So this could be a big loss for the Brooklyn Nets, him being out for that period of time. But the goodest thing about it, you got Kyrie back playing basketball. That's the biggest thing. So when Kevin Durant go down, you got someone that can put the ball in the basket when you need them to. Other guys going to have to step up and make some key shots and make some plays. So it's going to definitely play a part. But if they're going to win get close to a championship or Eastern Conference Finals, any opportunity of beating any one of the top 4 seeds in the Eastern, beat anyone at the top, they got to have Kevin Durant.
I definitely agree with you on there. And they've been balling as of late. One of the hottest teams in the NBA right now. Definitely going to miss KD. So they definitely going to need somebody else to step up. Whether it's TJ Warren, Ben Simmons, who knows. Kyrie going to have to take that team on his back and carry him. Jonathan Isaac. When's the last time you heard him, Donte? 2019, he had a severe knee injury. He will return. He's going to go to the G League over there in Miami or Orlando, somewhere around there, to see if he can actually come back and return. Good or bad idea?
I'm going to plead the fifth. 2019. Since 2000, what? How long you been out?
2019.
4 years? Yeah, I plead the fifth.
Ooh, he can never stay on the court anyway. Never stayed on the court. But we'll definitely
I can't say how he's gonna be, how is he gonna be or anything. It's gonna be hard. He hasn't played basketball in 4 years. So yeah, it's hard to answer that question.
Like he definitely can't stay. He definitely can't stay on the court. 2 more things I found out that was interesting. The NBA. The Hawks want a Rudy Gobert, Donovan Mitchell type deal for John Collins. Are they serious? What team is going to do that?
Nobody ain't even be able to do that.
How long has John Collins been on this trading block of the Nets? It seems like every year they haven't traded him
a year, and he's not worth that. He's not worth that. He's not worth no package like that. Come on now. He's not worth no package like that. No, he's worth at least a second round pick at best. He's not worth no damn package like that. Rudy Gobert is barely worth that package. He's not even worth all that.
We're not going to talk about Gobert, y'all. You know how much I despise Gobert with passion. Oh my God, I can't stand it. Steph Curry comes back and he goes up against the Suns tonight, and the Suns has been god awful. Does it continue?
Yes, it continues tonight. Yes, it does. They needed Steph Curry back, and they was able to get some wins with Jordan Poole at the helm. So yeah, if the Warriors can stay healthy, I still think that it could be a threat. If the Warriors can stay healthy,
yeah, most definitely. The Warriors, they definitely needed Curry back. They have him back in the lineup. Poole, Steph Curry, Draymond Green, Clay can only do so much, but having Steph Curry back definitely is going to be a plus for them. Anthony Davis, he's going to be coming back in soon. Will this help the Lakers try to push for a play-in?
Of course, all the Lakers, all the Lakers, for them to go places and for them to be even in contention of a playoff spot, Anthony Davis has to be on the floor, and he has not proven to be on the floor for the Lakers. But granted, even when he's on the floor, they still find ways to struggle. They still find ways to struggle when he's even on the floor. So other than that, they're not a solid team with them, but they even worse without him. But at the end of the day, you need Anthony Davis to make a playoff run. You're definitely going to need Anthony Davis to be on the floor.
Most definitely, you definitely do need an AD. And the Oklahoma City Thunder, they are 2 games out of play-in contention. Do you see the Thunder possibly making a play-in and possibly getting into the playoffs?
I can see them possibly making a play-in. I can see them possibly making a play-in. I can definitely see that.
Do you see them getting out of the play-in, getting in that last and final 8th or 7th seed?
No, I don't see them getting that far up. I believe they can get 9th. Well, matter of fact, yes, I can see them getting 9th. I can see them getting 9th, but that's still in play-in contention. If you even in 10th, you still in play-in contention. So yes, I can see them getting up in between 9th. I can see them getting between 8th and 9th. I don't believe they will be 7th. Get up there to 7th.
Shut up, David. Oh man! All right, so the NBA survey came out today for the best position. So we gonna talk and debate and. Well, damn. For real, Damien, did you have your ESPN senses? We talking about the Thunder, and here comes Coup coming right on in. But no, we're going to talk about the NBA media survey for the best player of the position. So they said the best player at point guard is Luka Doncic.
Yes, right now.
Shooting guard, they got Donovan Mitchell.
Right now, yes.
Small forward, Jason Tatum.
Small forward, yes. As of right now.
So let me find out if you might agree with this list here.
Yeah.
Power forward, Giannis Antetokounmpo.
Yeah, it's obvious. Of course, it's obvious. Yeah.
And center, Nikola Jokic.
I'm gonna go. I think as he's playing better basketball, but in reality, I'm gonna go with Joel Embiid. I think he's the better center. I think Joel Embiid is a better center than Jokic. But right now, Jokic playing better basketball.
All right, so let me actually go to the they got more stuff to talk about. Hold on, let me see where. Okay, so who's been the best point guard this season? Of course, Luka Doncic is at 80%. They got Steph Curry. Of course, he had 10 because he was hurt. They got John Morant 7%. Tyrese Halliburton came in 4th with 3%. Who's been the best shooting guard? It's been Donovan Mitchell. Book is at number 2. Tied for 3 is Jaylen Brown. Small forward, Jaylen. So it's that's shooting guard. Small forward, it was between Jason Tatum and Kevin Durant. Best power forward, it was Giannis, KD, then Zion. And they didn't do the center part. Oh, and then it was Nikola Jokic, and then Embiid was under him. So that was your list there. We talking about Thunder 15-28. Joker can stay healthy. Yeah, I mean, we all know Embiid has his issues and flaws when it comes to staying healthy. But for the most part, he has been. I know he's been out a couple games with his foot or whatnot, but you cannot deny the fact that he is a dominant force at the center position. We all know what Jokic can do. I'm not taking that away from anybody. But so they got the top 20 list of NBA players. Number 1 is Giannis, 2 is Joker, number 3 Steph, 4 Luka, 5 KD, 6 Embiid, Tatum is 7, LeBron at 8, AD 9, Zion's 10. Got Ja Morant at 11, Book is at 12, Donovan Mitchell's 13, SGA is at 14, Paul George 15, Pascal Siakam is at 16, Jimmy Butler's at 17. They got Dame at 18, Harden is 19, and Halliburton is 20. Agree or disagree with that list?
I think what they got Donovan Mitchell at?
13.
I think him and SGA should be higher. I think they should be a little bit more higher. I think they should be over. They should. One of them should be over. Ja Morant has had a huge drop off this year. He has definitely had a huge drop off. I think one of them should be over Ja Morant. As of right now, better basketball player. I think they should be over Ja Morant.
Would you bring AD down since he hasn't been playing?
Since he hasn't been playing, yes, I will actually bring him down. Yes, when he was on the court, he was dominant, but come on, he stays injured too much. So I will actually go Donovan. I will actually move Donovan Mitchell and Shai Gilgeous-Alexander up there. But
would you move Donovan and SGA over Book and Ja because they're Ja's 11 and Book's 12?
I think they're playing better basketball than both of those guys. I will actually move them up a spot ahead of them.
Makes sense. Definitely makes sense here. In today's matchup games we got tonight, we got 7 games. Pistons goes up against the 76ers. We got the Heat go up against the Thunder, Hornets and Raptors. Donovan Mitchell goes back to Utah for the first time this season. So Utah and the Cavaliers. We got the Warriors and the Suns. Coach Donte will be doing that game at 10 o'clock Eastern time. So go over to his channel as he's doing the play-by-play. We got the Magic and the Trailblazers and the Clippers and the Mavs. Lines up for the lineups in this night's slate. We got a little bit more time. We got some MLB news. Carlos Correa. Carlos Correa, in my opinion, is damaged goods. Let's go through this timeline here, Carlos Correa. Carlos Correa leaves the Houston Astros to go to the Minnesota Twins because he thought he was going to get a better opportunity and a chance at some type of playoffs. But long and behold, Minnesota ain't do poo. So, you know what? He said, you know what? I want to test the free agent market. So he tests the free agent market. Who does he get picked up by? San Francisco. They offer him this big, huge contract. He accepted. The Giants said, hold up, not so minute. Wait. Let me put my 2 cents in it. They looking, you know what? This report here, injury reports looking mighty long. Every year that you've been playing baseball, you've been on the injury list. And they was looking at his ankle injury. Mind you, he wasn't even in the major leagues yet. He was still with the Houston Astros farm system when they noticed his ankle injury. So they postponed his press conference. Long and behold, and a thief of the night, Steve Cohen comes in that exact same day that the Giants did not want to offer him money. What do? The Mets offer him a big contract. We're going through this all over again. All right, cool. He's going with the Mets. He's going to sign this big deal. Hold up, wait a minute. Mets said, nope, same deal. He's no longer going to be with the New York Mets. He's back with Minnesota. So he signs a $200 million deal to go back to Minnesota. Coach Donte, after all that, Carlos Correa damaged goods. Can he only stay in Minnesota?
Yep, he can only stay in Minnesota. And guess what? When you leave Houston, guess how much of a drop-off you be? Just every bit of Carlos Correa has been. So enjoy your time over there in Minnesota. Enjoy your time over there. Like I say, again, Carlos got nothing but much love and respect for Carlos Correa. He wouldn't have had this problem if he decided to stay in Houston. If he did decide to stay in Houston. But other than that, just from go to $14 million, go to 14 years, and $300 million, all the way down to $200 because ain't nobody. Yes,
200 million 6 years.
6 years, and you had no choice but to take less money because Minnesota wasn't offering you a lot of years and a lot of that money, so he had no choice. So that means he can only Minnesota were really the only team he can actually go to. And the Giants came out and said not only if Carlos Correa could have waited for the Giants, because the next day they would have gave him a press conference. They just wanted him to be cleared. But he didn't want to do that. He was afraid that the Giants was going to take a little bit off. He didn't want that to happen. And the Mets jump in there. They offer him this money, less. They offered him less than the Giants offered him. The Giants offered him more. Out of all two of these teams, the Giants offered him way more money. And all he had to do was stay with the New York Giants. So the Giants, not the New York Giants, San Francisco Giants felt like that Carlos Correa wasn't like that, wasn't loyal to them, and didn't want to be there with them, because all they had to do say, wait, man, we're gonna do the press conference to the very next day. We already gonna have it set up. Now all of a sudden he decides to leave, and now the same shit has happened in New York. Now New York thought they had them a Carlos Correa. All of a sudden, now back to square one in Minnesota, which is a team. If I was Minnesota, I would have left him out there, because if he had every intention to leave Minnesota. He had every intention to leave. So Minnesota got that desperate to sign him back. Yes, you got Christian Vasquez, but other than that, that's not going to help him win the AL Central. That's not going to him win. So other than that, then they lost Giovanni Urshela. They lost him as well to the to the Los Angeles Angels. That's a mess. Carlos Correa, right now, that's a mess. That situation is a mess. You went from 14 years to $300 million, $314 million. So all the way now you getting paid 100 more, 114 more less. Man, that's crazy. That's crazy. And he had every intention to leave Minnesota too. And Minnesota went on and paid him that money.
So he can so he's going to sign 6 years, $200 million pending physical. The deal can be reached up to $270 million with vesting options for 4 additional years. So yeah, that's Carlos Correa for you. This all started back October 13th. He opted out of his contract. 2 months later, he signed a 13-year deal, $350 with the Giants. Of course, the concerns over the physical. Then that exact same night, he signed with the Mets, 12 years, $315 million. Christmas Eve, the Mets decided they had concerns with the physical, and now here we are, January 10th. He signs back with the with the Minnesota Twins. That's just crazy. Right now, the voting, they did vote for Julio Rodriguez to be on the cover of MLB The Show 2023. Do you think anybody else besides Rodriguez should be on that cover?
I thought it was a great move. I'm not mad at it. I thought it was a solid move. I thought he should have been. I thought he should have definitely been a part of that. Been on there. I'm not mad at that at all. Julio Rodriguez is a up and coming stud. He's a stud in this league. So at the end of the day, yes, I believe he deserves to be on there. I like the move of him being on the cover. He had a great rookie season. He had an awesome rookie season. So I'm definitely not mad at it.
Dang, the White Sox are just losing everybody. Johnny Cueto went to Miami.
Yeah, Damian, shut up and stop talking.
Brandon Belt, he goes for a 1 year.
Hey, did Pollock leave too?
Huh?
Did Pollock leave too?
I'm not sure.
AJ Pollock, I heard that he left. Did he get traded somewhere?
Brent Phillips, he signs a 1 year deal with the Angels. Thoughts and prayers to Liam Hendricks. He's gonna miss time because he was diagnosed with cancer. So prayers, thoughts goes out to Liam Hendricks. Kyle said yes. Pollard did go.
Yeah, Damien, talk now. Say something now, Damien.
Shut up. Yeah, he did. He went to Seattle.
Shut up, Damien.
He ain't got nobody. But let's go break down the AL now. We did the NL. Thoughts on the offseason and who is going to win that division. So again, in the AL East, we got the Yankees, the Blue Jays, Tampa Bay, Baltimore, and Boston. We all know the Yankees re-signed Aaron Judge. Toronto, what did Toronto do this offseason? I didn't write none of this down. I ain't gonna hold you. I wasn't prepared for this topic this week. Tampa Bay, they didn't really they made some noise. We all know Boston re-signed who did they get?
Did they resign Rafael Devers?
Yeah, they re-signed him. But who was the big offseason winner in the AL West, or the AL East?
Well, you got the best player back in that division, Aaron Judge. You did get the best player, but outside of him, you did get Carlos Rodon, who's going to improve the pitching staff a little bit more. He's going to pitch. But outside of Aaron Judge, they're going to they have the same batting lineup. They didn't make no improvements in the lineup, in the batting order. They did lose. They did end up losing Benintendi, in Andrew Benintendi. And it's rumored out there, like, it depends on what Brian Reynolds, because it's rumored Brian Reynolds is out there. They willing to give up. They may be willing to give up a house for Brian Reynolds. So if they get him, I would say they won. They won the trades. They won all season for the AL East. But I think I got to give the upper hand to the Blue Jays. They did get Dalton Varsho. They got better at that position. You did let go Teoscar Hernandez to the Mariners, which is the Mariners are looking really good this year with AJ Pollock, and with him in the lineup, that improved their hitting and their lineup a little bit. Matt Chapman is a Gold Glove winner for the Toronto Blue Jays as well. So I believe Toronto is a winner in this scenario. You can definitely say the Yankees with the move by Carlos Rodon and re-signing Aaron Judge back, something that they desperately need to do. But the lineup again, the lineup is the same. The batting lineup is the same. The pitching improved, but the batting lineup is where the trouble is going to come for the Yankees. So, like I say again, the Boston Red Sox lost DJ Martinez. I think they lost Tucker Barnhart. They did lose him as well. They re-signed Rafael Devers. They lost Xander Bogaerts, so they kind of lost a lot. They lost a lot as well. Pitching, they lost Eric Hosmer too. They did lose Eric Hosmer. They lost absolutely a lot. Volpent help. They got better with Kenley Jansen at the Volpent help, but other than that, don't see them being scary in the AL East. Baltimore is on the upcline. I'm gonna have to give it to the Toronto Blue Jays.
The Blue Jays actually did pick up a lefty that they needed to. They got Brett as well. Who's winning this? Who's winning the East?
I would still say the Yankees. But I think the batting lineup is an issue. I think the batting lineup is really an issue. I think the pitching is going to improve. Of course, you got Carlos Rodon is going to improve. But when you're going up against a good lineup like the Astros, who can hit at any point of time, and the Yankee and someone that in a team that knows how to pitch, that knows how to really pitch to the Yankees, that could be troubling for the batting order. The Mariners improvements. The Mariners improving too, so that can hurt the Yankees. But I still will say the Yankees in the AFC East. I still say they will win the division. I think the Blue Jays will come in second, and I think the Orioles will finish behind the Blue Jays. And you do. I forgot. You got the Tampa Bay Rays in there. My bad. I keep forgetting. I keep missing the team. So you got the Tampa Bay Rays right there. I believe they're going to be on a decline a little bit. So I'm going to have Toronto finishing over them. I'm going to have I really think, the Baltimore Orioles are coming, but I got to see one more year. But I got the Tampa Bay Rays finishing in third, and I got Baltimore finishing over Boston. I think Boston's going to finish last in the AL East.
All right, y'all. There you have it. We got another 7,200 seconds in the books. Any last words, before we roll out of here? Anybody you got to put on the grill besides Clint Cusberry and all that other stuff?
Nah, like I say, Cliff Kingsbury is the only rant I wanted to get on because, like I say again, Cliff Kingsbury is horrible. He's a horrible head coach and he's a horrible play caller. If he has any chance, he needs to go back to college, coach kids. Grown men are not for Cliff Kingsbury. And it has been proven time and time again that Cliff Kingsbury does not deserve a head coaching job in the NFL. And he cannot handle a locker room. So other than that, it's been a great show and happy NFL Sunday, NFL football will be coming this weekend. Playoffs will be coming. Baseball will be kicking up the high gear soon. In the month of April, training camp, I believe, starts soon. Spring training starts soon, starting pretty soon as well. And we're in the middle of the NBA season. So very happy to be on here. Very happy. We're on our way to 60 episodes. But like I say, hey, happy, very happy.
Yeah, most definitely. Don't forget, coming up at 7 o'clock on Sports Empire Network, we got the Big Three with Kyle Edwards and the crew. So make sure y'all tune over there for that. Again, make sure y'all go to SeatGeek, put some promo code in SEN, save $20 on your first purchase. But yeah, we here each and every Tuesday, so make sure y'all come on back. But we are going to head on out of here. What's going on, Vision? Steelers and NFL need to be on the grill for that. Yeah, I don't know if y'all seen that, but that was definitely a dumb move there. I don't know if y'all seen that celebration when they did the CPR. That was definitely too early for that. That definitely wasn't cool. But of course, ain't nobody gonna talk about that. But we're gonna get on out of here. Y'all make sure y'all come on back 6 o'clock, 7 o'clock, the next 15, 16 minutes or so for the Big Three podcast here on the Sports Empire Network. Coach Donte, myself, we moving on out of here. Yes, of the evening.
Peace.